All right. We're here with another episode of the Young Black Suburbans. I'm here with my co-host, Justin Renfrow.
What's up? What's up?
And we have a very, very special guest on, like always. And he's a good friend of mine, a good friend of Witherspoon Boxing, Joe Bassio. How you doing, Joe?
Okay, how you guys doing?
We doing good. We're doing good.
Pleased to be here.
Good. If you know about Joe, then you know he's Bucks County's #1 Muhammad Ali fan. That is what he is known for. Okay. Joe has spent, plenty of time doing his research, meeting the man. He pretty much dedicated his life to Muhammad Ali, his dog, his wife, and the Cardinals. Joe, do you want to talk to us a little bit about how this obsession, I'm going to call it an obsession because I don't know anyone likes Muhammad Ali as much as you. Where did it come from?
It all began in 1966. I was watching ABC News Sports, and I was watching Muhammad Ali fight Ernie Terrell. And from that moment forward, it's been a love affair ever since. It just something caught me about how he fought, how he bragged about what he was doing and did it anyway. And I just took off from there.
Right. And you actually don't even know it, but you internalize Muhammad Ali a lot. When you're hanging out, coming to the gym, I hear Ali coming out of you.
There you go. Thank you.
With your favorite move. What's your favorite move?
The rope-a-dope.
The
Come on. You know it. Ask Dad. He'll tell you.
Yeah. So, Justin, he just got finished watching a Muhammad Ali documentary. Which one was it?
So I watched the movie. I was watching Ali, actually.
Okay, Ali.
A few weeks ago. So what would be your favorite period of his life? What's your favorite part of Ali's life, career?
Between, I would say, 73 and until, he passed, it was just a phenomenal ride. It's a phenomenal ride now. His fights, just listening to him talk. Between 72 and 80, it was sad. But,
I think that his phone. I think your phone might be. Are you on Wi-Fi?
Me?
Yeah.
I believe I am.
All right. It was just a little bit.
It was a glitch there.
A little glitch.
So just tell us how we caught 80. I caught that part, 80. So retell us that answer there.
Between 72 and 80, I think was the greatest. At 71 with the first Joe Frazier fight. The build up to that fight. Buying all the newspapers at the newspaper stands and putting them in my scrapbook. And from then forward, every time I'd get, I'd buy 2 or 3 of the same newspapers. So I keep one newspaper and put the other 2 in scrapbooks.
Right.
And just the build up to his fights, it was just that era from 71 on.
Right. And you touched on his fight with Joe Frazier being part of that era. Do you recall how things were back then between Ali and Frazier and how it made you feel as a fan?
They weren't back then. It didn't bother. They weren't very, very good between Frazier and Ali with the name calling and whatnot, and it wasn't very good between Ali and the nation at the time.
Right.
He was a very hated man. And he wasn't going to win that fight by decision. He was either going to knock Joe out or he was going to lose by decision. And he lost by decision.
Right.
Just my opinion.
Okay.
Right. you know, he had his fights inside the ring, outside the ring, and part of my factuation with Ali is that he stood up for what he believed in, and a lot of people during the time when he did it didn't really like him, and now he's known for it. You were around, you know.
Gave up the best 3.5 years of his career standing up for what he believed in. And I can only imagine if that didn't happen.
Right.
Everything for a reason. That happened for a reason.
And I feel like it's inspired.
No, he believed that much into his religion and his faith that he was willing to obviously give up the 3.5 years, and he didn't care. If it was longer, it could have been longer.
That's the loudest slow door close ever. So, Joe, we were at the point where that door totally threw me off. Oh yeah, so he gave up the best 3 years of his life, and then he came back. Do you remember that comeback fight?
First one against Jerry Quarry in Atlanta. Phenomenal buildup. He comes off for 3.5 years to fight the number one contender. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And he won the fight. Then the build-up to the Bonavena fight. It took him a little while. They didn't look so good, but he also won that fight. Another top contender after being off 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he still came through. And the Frazier fight was a great fight.
Right. So how many fights did he have until he fought him again?
Till he fought Frazier again?
Yeah. Us young guys don't chronologically understand the time difference. We probably think they were back to back, you know.
That they were not. He fought Joe Frazier the first time, March 8th.
Uh-huh.
And then he fought Frazier the second time in January of 72.
Right.
And then the third time, October 75.
Right. And one of them was the Thriller in Manila.
Thriller in Manila.
Yeah. Where it was in the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Yeah.
It was 100 degrees. It was 100 degrees, not counting the lights on the ring.
Were you watching? Did you watch that? I
didn't watch it live. No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not. But it was 100 degrees, and that's not counting the lights from the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine how warm it was in that ring, and them two doing what they did.
Right. Just boxing in particular at that time was just a different animal, wasn't it? It's just 15 rounds. You know, they train different, heavy work boots, and just a whole different kind of way of approaching it.
Exactly. Nothing like today. Nothing like today. These guys, excuse me.
You're talking about me, Joe. You're talking about me.
No, I'm not talking about you, brother. No. But these guys today couldn't hold a candlestick to Ali or any of them guys back then. Any of them. Your father, Joe Frazier, couldn't hold a stick to any of them guys.
Right.
So talk about some of your time. Tim mentioned you had been at the Ali's camp.
I went up there the very first time I met him, and every time I look at the book that he signed, I get a little shaky only because I met him September 11th, 1976.
Right.
Every time I open that book, it's like it just gives you a little considering what happened. And I'll never forget, I was standing by the barbecue, and I heard one of the doors slam, the storm door, come down. He was coming out of the rub-down room in his white robe, and nothing came out. Because there's my idol standing dead in front of me.
Right.
I didn't say anything. He walked from the rub-down room to the kitchen. I couldn't say anything. I was just, if there's anybody I ever wanted to meet, it was him. And I did. And phenomenal. it was a phenomenal. Every time I went up there, it was a phenomenal experience. Always well treated by everybody, and
Right.
it was,
And like from my knowledge, there was a lot of famous people that went up there, and a lot of happiness, I guess you could say. That's what it sounded like to me. Its own little like boxing Woodstock. How was the atmosphere when you were up there?
it was very joyful, very up. I had met Roman Gabriel, used to be a quarterback for the Rams. I met some guy by the name of Sugar Ray Leonard, who can't play basketball, by the way, but that's another story. It was always positive. That's the thing I got out of it. Everything was always positive up there, and always well treated. At least I was. I don't think anybody was not treated well.
Right. Now, when you went up there, what would you do?
I would park my car and you were able to park your car and walk around. There's no, at least
No press passes.
No, no press passes. You walked right into the gym. Things I found out later. I mean, like a lot of people hung out in the kitchen.
Right.
A lot of people hung out in his cabin, which I didn't know you were allowed. I knew the gym was open. Knowing what I know now, but I got up there. I met Bodini. I met Veronica. I met Louis. I met Angelo. I met most of the guys, and a lot of the guys who I didn't know then. Obviously, I know who they are now.
Right.
And unfortunately, the majority of the entourage is not with us anymore.
Right. Right. And you got people that are up there really taking care of that same historical camp that you were at. And
I'm gonna tell you, brother. Sorry to interrupt.
No. This is about you and your knowledge of Muhammad Ali.
Mike Madden, John Madden's son, has done a marvelous job in restoring the camp as a museum, educational to Muhammad Ali, not only in the ring, but also out of the ring. I mean, the place looks magnificent. It looks just like it did back then.
Right.
Now, naturally, you got to upgrade certain things that you have to, but they're doing a phenomenal job up there.
And out of all this, we didn't even let them know. And a lot of people don't realize that Muhammad Ali lived in this area. Where is the camp located?
The camp's located in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania, or Orangeburg, as they like.
It's both on the GPS, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. You get on 61 North. You find Sculpt Hill Road. You make a left, go up that hill, and as you go up, the first thing you see is the mosque on the left, the white building, and then there's 3 other cabins on that side, and then you see the chalet on the right and the gym, and then you got to go all the way around and see all the others.
Right.
So that's what all the spiders heaven.
Yeah. Can you show the viewers your shirt?
What that is now? I see the Deer Lake. So now
and you're gonna have to talk while you explain the camp while you're.
It's Fighters Heaven shirt. When you take a tour, the tours are free. You can make a donation, and with the donation you get a T-shirt or a bag or a keychain or wristbands or whatnot.
Or you get to meet Joe.
And you get to meet me.
Yeah, he plays a big part of the camp. We took a group of people up there. It must have been a year and a half ago now. And we really enjoyed ourselves and cost us no money. The hospitality was great. You can go and there's movies for you to watch. And
more since the last time you were there. Like the video screen in the gym.
Yeah.
There's instead of the one, there's 3 of them.
Oh.
That runs consecutively. So
nice.
And one of them was done there.
Oh, okay. And when you go in the gym, it's fully restored. The ring is there. There's actually a picture of my father on the wall. That was pretty crazy to see.
I'm sure it was for you, yes.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that to even be there.
Well, your dad was a big part of that.
Right, right.
Your dad was a very big part of that.
And he talks about that, and he also, one of the stories that I hear from my father a lot now is about Muhammad Ali and the end of his career, and how uh, and how he was, noticeably, getting worse and worse with his health. Um, do you remember the lead up to the Larry Holmes fight at all?
Yeah, sadly, yeah. He looked good, but
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew at the time. This doctor, I believe, his last name was Williams, but I could be wrong. Giving him diuretics to make him lose the weight. When he walked in that ring against Larry, he sure looked good.
Mm-hmm.
But as the fight wore on, there was nothing there, nothing at all. I watch it. I don't like to, but if you're gonna watch the third Frazier fight, you have to watch the Larry Holmes fight.
Right.
You gotta watch the good. You gotta watch the bad.
Right.
I don't like to because he was never going to get old.
Mm-hmm.
He got old and he got sick.
And he had another fight after that as well, right?
And I remember reading they delayed the decision, and Angelo thought that they were going to give it to him. Could you imagine if they would have gave that fight? Okay?
Yeah.
Thank God they didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
He went on.
Right.
He would have went. Because a lot of people depended on him.
Exactly. That's where the point that I was going to make. There's half of them cared about him and didn't want him to fight. Half of them needed him to fight. Which
needed him to fight.
Yeah, which is a horrible thing.
Freddie Pacheco left early.
Right.
The doctor, Freddie.
Right. Right. And
so,
and it didn't. I don't want to really talk about his life like that, because I'm not a family member. I'm not really close, like that.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story, so I should.
Right. But it seemed like, even after he was fighting, that some of that was going on, and if it was, shame on whoever. But at the end of the day, this man is somebody who everybody can idolize. The most recognized face on the planet.
On the planet.
On the planet. And
amazing man.
His name is Muhammad. That's the most that's the most used name in the world as well.
He may be the most well-known person ever.
Maybe.
Ever.
Maybe. Ever. So how does it feel being a Muhammad Ali fan? It's not about the clippings anymore. It's about posting on social media. It's a different era now. Huh?
My bad.
What'd you say?
Which I do way too often.
Well, let's talk about it. You're a part of groups and stuff like that. And
what's your go-to platform?
Yeah. Go ahead.
It should be all about Muhammad Ali, but sometimes it isn't.
Right. What he was asking is, what social media is your favorite?
I go on Facebook a lot.
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah.
More than anything. I don't use Twitter at all. Because what happens is there's a Fighter's Heaven. If you type in Fighter's Heaven, there's a lot of information that comes up. So I try to keep up with that and see the pictures that Mick Stefanik, who lives on site.
Mm-hmm.
I took a lot of pictures, and even now we still get a group of 2 come up during the week, and as cold as it is up there.
Right.
So basically I try to follow that, keep up with the Ali groups more than anything. And a lot of people got a lot of different opinions.
That's the truth.
A lot of opinions. That's what the world's about.
So do you ever get any fights about who's better? Joe Frazier or Ali?
I get in quite a bit of arguments.
I can't ask you who you think's better. We already know.
We don't. I get in. Joe was a great fighter. Mm-hmm. Joe was a great man. Not just Joe was a great man. I'm an Ali fan. it's all Ali for me. But back then, I got caught up in the kill it and the thrill it and the chill it. I'm going to get the gorilla. I got caught up in all that.
Right.
Thinking about it now, Joe, I don't know if Joe deserved that, but it's part of the hype. It was Ali. He didn't have to do that. And I felt sorry for Joe's kids because they had to deal with that in school. But everything was done for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
That's so,
great man.
yeah, definitely. And, our area is known for boxing. You enjoy coming around, stopping by the boxing gym. What drawn you to that sport specifically?
Muhammad Ali.
Oh, just Ali.
And I don't follow a little bit now.
So you don't even know what's going on right now.
Well, I know because of social media.
Right.
Did
right.
you watch the Tyson fight?
I didn't watch any of that. Why would I?
Okay.
Oh man,
Tyson was
just because it was an exhibition against Roy Jones. I just no interest.
Right.
No interest. No offense to
respect.
No offense to either fighter. In fact, I never liked Mike Tyson ever.
Supposedly he avenged the Larry Holmes fight. Right.
But the more, thanks to Facebook and updates, I've grown to respect Mike Tyson because he was also a true fan of Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And friend, which I never realized that he was that they were that close. So I've changed as far as my thought process on Tyson. But I don't want I had no interest to watch.
Right.
Now I understand he's going to fight Holyfield again.
The
rumor.
That's what I heard, but I also heard that Holyfield is not in any shape to do something like that.
Yeah,
right now.
Holyfield, I think he was showing early signs not too long ago. Different effects of boxing.
Boxing is not an, as you know, Tim.
Yeah.
Boxing is not an easy sport.
Nope. And speaking of, what the whole thing is, our hero showed some of the signs. That's one of the best examples that we can see. If we really don't know that boxing played a part in it, but I would guess that it did.
I would guess the same.
Yeah.
And that's a big issue now.
But you got to remember, as a boxer, once you lose your legs, you have nothing.
Yeah, it's done.
And the 3.5 years, he lost
his legs.
Yeah.
Right. And still look what he did.
Yeah.
Them fights with Frazier, all three of them, the Foreman fight, the Norton fight.
Crazy.
Look what he did.
All after the layoff.
He found out he could take a punch.
Right.
And that was the problem with the first Frazier fight because he wanted to prove a point.
But what about Spinks?
Yeah, that's another. Took Spinks for granted the first time.
Right.
Figured he could do the same thing, wear him out. And, Spinks was a young kid, and then we saw what happened in the second fight. So
Right. All right, Joe.
Spinks is another story.
Right. Well, we got time. Let me get.
He was it's a shame what has happened to him.
Right.
I seen a video the other day and I just couldn't even.
Is he in a wheelchair now?
The last I saw, he was in a wheelchair. He can't really take care of himself. So it's sad.
Yeah, it's hard,
He did things that.
Yeah.
You're going to do.
A lot of fighters from that era, went down that route. But part of the camaraderie or part of the I can't even explain it, but we know what we're getting into. And it's hard to tell a fighter not to do it again. It's an addictive thing.
How do you, when you got 25,000 people yelling Ali,
Yeah.
Ali, and add the adoration that you miss that.
Right. Ali sold out all of Vegas, fighting Larry Holmes.
Right.
So yeah, you make a valid point there.
And I didn't like Larry for a while there, but since then Larry was in a bad position.
Yeah.
Larry was in a bad position.
Yeah. There's no win there.
There was a no-win situation.
Right. So we're about to wrap this interview up, Joe. But really what we want to know is why do you like the Cardinals over the Phillies?
St. Louis.
Well, I have no answer for that. Usually you get your teams from your father.
Right.
My father did not like sports. So 1967, I somehow latched on to the Cardinals. Been a fan ever since. And I hope you don't mind. I went to their fantasy camp in St. Louis.
Right.
Oh my God. I walked that field. I walked that dugout. I batted in that batter's box, and I'm a fantasy camp champion.
Congratulations.
Time of my life. It was a great experience.
Right. Well, why don't you come in and let me teach you the rope-a-dope?
No, you the rope-a-dope.
Yeah, you teach me.
I'll show you what's going on. I never wanted to whoop a man so bad.
Do you have anything that you want to tell the people watching this interview?
Does anybody ever get a chance? Go up to Fighter's Heaven. It's a wonderful experience about Ali's life in and out of the ring. They do a fantastic job. Mick Stefanik, who's the camp manager, does a fantastic job. Mike Madden, who owns it, has done a fantastic job in keeping the legacy of Ali alive. So I implore all of you to go visit. The tour is free. We do accept donations, but you don't need to. And it's you just walk around and you walk around at your own leisure.
Right, you walk around the same footsteps that Ali was. You get to see
in the same footsteps that Ali walked the history.
Right, and you get to see where he slept.
You get to sleep where he slept, where he trained, where he boxed, where he prayed. It's
a great place.
Any boxing fan, any Ali fan, any sports fan, or any history fan, it's all there. It's all there.
That's it. All right. So Bucks County's number one. Muhammad Ali.
Ali.
Good stuff. Joe, I appreciate you stopping by the Young Black Suburban. You are a Young Black Suburban as well.
It's a pleasure.
All right, Joe. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh wait.
What?
You tell people his social media.
Oh, well, it's at Joe Basio. I don't know if he wants to really spell his name out. At Facebook.com.
There's enough people who know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's gonna be a lot more now.
That's fine by me.
A whole bunch of Young Black Suburbans. All right. We'll see you soon, guys.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Later, my friend.
All right, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.